Hello everyone, Charles Lane from the Bible Unbound. And what I have for you today is an update of the Quest Study Bible from Zondervan. Hello everyone, so what we have today is the Quest Study Bible from Zondervan. Now I had picked up a while ago a paperback version of this. So this is the paperback version of the Quest Study Bible that I have used for a little while. It's a really nice study Bible. I do like it. And what we have is an updated hardcover version of this from Zondervan. What I like about the Quest Study Bible itself, it's made to ask questions. So it's more of you trying to ask questions to dive deeper into each of the subjects in each section of the Bible that you're in. As we take a look at the overview, it says there's over 7,000 insightful notes arranged in a question and answer format, nearly 350 articles that investigate most of the asked questions about the Bible, book introductions, that who wrote it, why, and what should we look for, article index for expanded subjects, a single column scripture text arranged in a modern 2-color page design, over 150 charts, and a reading plan with 3 distinct tracks to follow, the NIV Dictionary-Concordance at the end, and 16 pages of maps. They also have the NIV Comfort Print typeface, the updated Comfort Print, and a 9.5 typeface, and the other one, the old one, I think is quite a bit smaller. I think this is like a 6 or a 7. As we take a look, before I get too involved in here, let's see what this looks like without the slipcover. So it looks pretty much like the slipcover does without the extra little notes on it. So it's a hardcover Quest Study Bible, NIV, Zondervan. So as we open this up, you'll see that we've got a presentation page, which is part of the paste down. Good blue and white format. Look at this. Your contents page, which I skipped over. The Old and New Testament. This is your copyright index page here. So it has your alphabetical order as well. The list of your abbreviations and your introduction to the NIV Quest Study Bible. I like this little introduction once we open it up here. So it goes over more of the features that are in this Bible itself. So there is book introductions, timelines, and maps, side column notes, as well as some of the notes and features on the bottoms. List of the perplexing words, phrases, cultural context, summations of the controversial passages, different articles, subject, index to their subjects, and there's a concordance and an index to the maps at the end with the reading plans themselves. Your acknowledgements page, list of your contributors. And right off the bat on this one, unlike most of the Bibles that I look at, most of the study Bibles, it puts the reading plans right up front on this one. So there's a introduction to the Bible, gives you the time commitment for this and how long it'll take to go through this, which is, I like that, to give you a little bit of an idea of how long the reading plan is going to take. There is a 2-week plan of the life and teachings of Jesus, 2 weeks in the life and teachings of Paul, and 2 weeks on the Old Testament. I like that. Now there's a second course, which is a guided tour that it has. It's a 180-day course, which basically unravels the plot as you're going through a nice guided tour. Birthing a Nation, the Golden Age, Northern Kingdom, starting over, response to Jesus, the final days, Paul's legacy, vital letters. Then there is the full Bible plan, which is the every word in the Bible plan, which is they're doing this as a 3-year plan with a little explanation of how to do each of the assignments. So you can do them as 1 chapter per day. The reading plan works out to be evenly in a 3-year total, which is kind of nice. like the little check boxes to be able to keep track. Like some of the study Bibles, there's an overview which kind of walks you through the Pentateuch and the historical books, the poetical books, the prophetic books, and then everything from Lamentations to the New Testament itself. There's the New Testament, the letters from Romans to Revelation. Really nice, a good, concise little 1 or 2 sentence overview or summary of each of the books. And then it goes to the preface. Ooh, you can easily see here that this is a Smith sewn, which is very prevalent right here, the way they did the sewing. And you notice how easily it lays flat, even right at the beginning. I like that. As a hardcover, that's one of the benefits of some of these hardcovers. The actual cover itself is heavy enough to help it lay flat. And as always, I'm like a broken record here. Read the preface at least one time. So that way you get a good idea of the textual basis and how they're translating this actual translation. And we go into the Old Testament. You have the opening for Genesis, its full introduction. Now, one of the takeaways that I could have is with this color scheme, it can be a little difficult with some of the ghosting. But since they keep the coloring for all of the side notes the same, it's not bleeding through on the under like white sections as much. And that makes it actually a little bit better on the notes themselves. Now there is some ghosting in the middle, but I think that can be overcome pretty well, just flipping through basically. So going back to the introduction, it's simple. Why do we read the book? Who wrote it? What period and why does it cover? What period does it cover? Why was it written? Who it was written to? And what to look for. And I like these little timelines that are in here as well. It covers what you're looking at in this specific book. So what I'm reading, as you see on these side note pages, so they're all basically question format. It's kind of a question and answer. So it asks a question and it walks you through some of the answer, and it encourages you to kind of dive deeper in to find more of the answers yourselves or to augment the answers that they're giving as well. So one of the quick ones, let me see if I can find a really quick small one. So like here, it's asking, where was the Garden of Eden? So Eden was probably either in ancient Mesopotamia, where it's just modern day Iraq, or an area farther north in modern day Turkey. See the map of the setting of Genesis, which is this map. So they estimate it to be possibly one of these two areas. I like the notes that are in here. Color scheme, that's a nice blue. So there's a lot of blue in here. So each of the chapter labels are blue. The chapter numbers are that nice big bold, like 3 and 4 bold letters. It's a comfort print for the actual text itself. I think it's a slightly different print for the notes. And I think these notes, 9.5 for the Bible itself, and it looks like this is probably an 8, if not a little bit smaller, because I think these notes on the sides are 8, and it looks like the actual translation notes on the bottom are even slightly smaller than those. From what I can see, though, it's a very readable, and I've been impressed with the way that they're doing the questioning. I actually liked it from when I first got the original Bible. It has a similar format. There's not as many of the questions that I've seen, but it's the same sort of thing as we look through the Bible itself, like this is in Psalms, where they ask things like, why were there no godly people left in that section? And I can actually go to Psalms and see if they're the same notes or things are actually different or not. So we wanted to take a look at the poetic sections anyways, so let's jump up here to Psalm 12. So as we're looking at the old and the new one, so Psalm 12a, it was asking for 12:1, why are there no godly people left? So let's look here. They're asking pretty much the same question and the same answer, that they were still faithful people, but David was exaggerating for emphasis. Figure of speech. And it's slightly different. The older question was David physically sick? And then the same note, because it asked a separate question for 6, 2 through 7. But same, that David felt like that there was no one left who was faithful and would stand with him. So there are some updates from the old to new. And if you have one of the older versions, I do like it. And if you're looking for an updated version, this is actually really good. I like the format on this. And the comfort print, just the text itself, because when you go from the old text, you can see a difference in the comfort print. It's a little bit thicker, and the actual rounding, I can describe it as there's a little bit more rounding on the edges that kind of are a little bit more pleasing to the eye and help you actually flow through the wording better. As we get to the New Testament, so I like the timeline. It's actually pretty good here. So this is I believe this is a black letter. So yes, this is a black letter version. And the more I flip through it, I do like on most of the study Bibles here that they have these maps that are related to what you're reading. So they kind of help you, dive a little bit more in and keep aware of the region that it's actually happening in. There are really good topical notes on the bottom and some of these little stories. It's all about questioning. So a lot of the people on their reading plans, they try to introduce you to take a look and see why specifically was this written, what was happening into it, so that way you can interact with it. And by doing that, you can kind of pull more information out and see how it relates, and you can see some of the interactions that are happening in here. Next note on what is blasphemy against the Spirit. And I'm trying really hard not to go into any teaching while I'm showing these reviews, but I will use little things like there are some really good questions in here that I could use in a teaching section. I do like that. So we'll go through a little bit more to the end. So as we get to the end here, we'll go into the study helps. So there's a nice basic table of weights and measures. And I like this, the prayers that are from the Bible and what the location is for these prayers. Promises from the Bible. I have a lot of these little promise books that there's a lot of good ones in here too. Perspectives from the Bible. I like this. Things like what to read when you need comfort, when others have sinned against you, when things are going well, and are you starting a new job, which I may have to read that whole section pretty soon too. Some people may know from the rest of the groups, but things you're struggling with, where to find passages. There's an acknowledgement index, like where they got these articles from and where you could actually read more information from those articles. Their index to their subjects, and then their actual dictionary-concordance. Ooh, I like this. So the basic description and little snippets here of the chapter and verse to read a little bit more about it. It's good. And then at the end, you have their color maps, slightly thicker paper, and the maps are good colors. Very, very readable. The rear paste down page, and then the back of the Bible itself. So, construction is really good, solid reading material, good advice, good questions. This is definitely a Bible for someone that is actually likes to ask questions. It'd be good for you to use if you're leading a Bible study or leading a small group, so that you can have good questions to be able to have for your group. So that leads us to the end of this video. So as always, we ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if you've actually used this Bible in the past and if it's something that you would use for your groups. And, as we're going more, I would like to show you more of these types of informations, and we'll see what we can come up with in the next video. So we'll talk to you soon.